Alright, let me just not think about it. So welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Sashelle, and if you already are a part of the family, thank you guys. I love and appreciate you guys. If you're new to the family, go ahead, hit that subscribe button and join the family. We have an awesome family here today, guys. Today, as promised, I am coming through and I'm giving you my hair porosity test. These are a number of tests that you can do to determine what your hair porosity is. You know, guys, I have been going through with my hair porosity series, and I talked about high porosity hair. I also talked about low porosity hair. I also talk about medium porosity hair. And in this video, I'm going to test the results. Let me see if I actually was right about what my hair porosity is. Guys, not only in this video am I giving you the test, but I'm also going through and I'm going to give you a full complete review. Are these tests even accurate? Are these tests a whole scam? Are these tests authentic? Can these tests really and truly determine what our hair porosity is? So that is at the end of the video, so do not skip the video, because the most important parts are towards the end. So guys, without further ado, without any further rambling, let us get on into the video. Before I go into the porosity test, guys, I want to go in and I'm going to wash my hair. So I'm going to have wet hair throughout this video, but never mind. The reason why I'm doing this is because I think I want to get my hair at the cleanest slate so that there's no product and all of that to impact on the porosity test. Further down into the video, I will explain in detail why I think I needed to refresh my hair and wash my hair before I do this porosity testing. So give me a few minutes. I'm going to go in, I'm going to wash my hair out, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to go into the porosity test. So guys, I'm giving you realness now, so I'm soaking wet, but let us get this content out. How easily your hair gets wet when you decide that you're going to saturate it with water, especially on like wash day or so forth. So as you can see, I have run the water through my hair, and not instantly but almost instantly you could see that my hair got saturated really fast. Then you have some persons with some textures of hair that basically when they go under the water, it does take a while to soak up that water, because basically the cuticles are so close together, are so closed up, that means that a lot of hydration is not passing through. So for me, for this particular test, I am saying that my porosity is normal porosity. Let us get on into the other test and see how those work. So guys, I have rinsed all my hair about 5 minutes ago, and my hair my hair is not dry as yet, but I'm going to leave it to dry. I'm going to let you know how long my hair has taken to dry, and that is my next porosity test. Saturate your hair fully like when you're on wash day, and watch how long your hair takes to become dry. So the idea is, if your hair dries very fast, then you have high porosity hair, and if your hair takes a long time to dry, then you have low porosity hair. If it's anywhere between, means that it's not dry instantly, but then it does not take as long to dry, then you have normal porosity hair. My hair, to be honest, it's been like about 5 to 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes, that my hair have now been dry, and my hair is already feeling dry. So based on timing, I think everyone is different regarding what I consider to be fast, maybe different for someone else. But let me be realistic and say, if my hair dries within an hour, then I have normal porosity. If it's less than an hour, then I have high porosity. And if it is, and for low porosity, it might take me many hours or even days, because someone in my comment box said that their hair takes literally days, 2 days to dry. So I will get back to you guys when my hair is fully dry, or at least 95% dry. Then we can go into the other porosity test. So guys, I am back. It's been an hour since I've been air drying my hair, and my hair is more than 95% dry. The only parts that feel a bit like there's a little moisture in there is the back area. So I'm gonna say it's about 98% dry. When it's a bit drier, you're gonna see my hair tend to look a bit straighter in terms of its texture. So based on what I'm seeing, I'm definitely normal porosity. Let us get into the next testing. So guys, the next porosity test has to do with the strand test, and I want to get my hair as dry as possible. To do this, I'm gonna go to
child, the ghetto.
So I'm gonna go in and I'm going to find one of the strands that are driest. So for instance, like right here. And what you're gonna do now is, for the strand that you got, you're gonna work your way, you're gonna pull your hair backwards up the shaft of the hair. Because remember, if you understand how the cuticles work, is that when the cuticles are closer together or flat, then they are low porosity, and if it is opened and more separated, then it is high porosity. So if I'm feeling a bit of a bumpiness toward when I'm working my way up the hair, the more bumpy or rigid it is going up the shaft of the hair, then I should be high porosity. If it is flat and I can't feel any bumps going up, that is low porosity. But if I'm feeling just slight bumps or slight rigidness, then that is medium or normal porosity here. So let us go into the testing. So let me see if we can see that. Okay, and I'm going to do a single strand. Guys, I don't know if it's my mind, but at some points I'm feeling nothing, and then at other points I think I'm feeling a slight. I think I just broke my strand, guys. Yes, I'm definitely feeling a bit. When I go up to the top here, I'm definitely feeling a bit of rigidness and a little bumpy feeling going up, but down here seems to be relatively smooth. So that then indicates that I'm either normal or low porosity. So try out this specific test and see what you get, and let us now go into the other testing. Hi my loves, I am back, and we are going to do the next porosity test, and this one is called the flow test. And by now you should be fully aware of what the flow test is, because that has been floating around all of YouTube. So basically you need a handy dandy glass of water, and you are going to get some strands in the water. Now the idea is, if the strands sink very fast to the bottom, then you are high porosity here. If it stays on the top for a while and then it goes down to the bottom after a couple of minutes or so, then you are definitely medium porosity here. And if it stays afloat, then you have low porosity here, because we know how it goes. Hair absorbs water, taking as much as water as possible. As in high porosity, it's gonna be saturated, it's gonna get heavy, it's gonna fall down. But in order to do the flow test, we need some strands of hair. So that means I'm gonna have to pull some strands out. And because I'm so dramatic, I'm gonna do like 3 strands. So guys, when you're taking out the strands, do be careful. You want to pull the entire strand out and not break a part of it, because then you know, split ends and all of that. So shall I do this? All right, you know, when you comb our hair, it comes out and it's like nothing, but when you're supposed to pull your hair out, it feels like the world. That is exactly what I'm doing. So let us see. All right, let me just not think about it. That was harder than I thought. I thought it was gonna just pop out, but actually I heard it like ripping out. So I'm wondering if you can see the strands of hair. And if you can, just rest assured, I actually have strands of hair in. So I'm gonna put in these strands. I'm gonna put them all together. How do I put this in? They're just sticking out like, oh my god, save me, don't drown me at all. Go down in there, please, and thank you. So guys, to show you a better view, that's the hair, and let me see. You can see that it's sitting up there pretty much. So guys, we are waiting. Thus far the hair is literally sitting right up there. I see like just a small part kind of extending down from the top, but most of it is floating, like floating up there. that would indicate that I am basically low porosity, because it does not shrink, it does not even go halfway down, because then if it's halfway down, you know that that could be medium porosity, but it's just sitting there. So I'm gonna leave that at least for an half an hour and see if there's any change that is made, even though I don't think you should wait that long. But I'm gonna allow the hair to do its thing, allow the hair cuticles to absorb its thing, and then I'm gonna come back in 35 minutes and I'm going to see what's what. So guys, the last test that I want to do is how well your hair takes to products like moisturizers and those moisturizing creams and butters and so forth. And that means that when you moisturize and seal and all of that, how fast does your hair dries out? How many times a week do you have to go in and re-moisturize before your hair gets dry? Does your hair soak up all the product and still seem dry and coarse and all of that? So of course, if your hair takes in a lot of work quickly and then becomes dry, you're high porosity. If the products basically sit on your hair looks way down and you don't have to re-moisturize because your hair is very oily and all of that, then you are low porosity. But if you use adequate amount of moisture and it takes in, absorb enough moisture where it feels moisturized, but then it does not look oily, and then you might not have to go in all the time to re-moisturize, but your hair will last you like a week of moisturizing, then you will have normal porosity hair. So I do my moisturize and seal, and I need a lot. And my hair does not just soak up all the products. So I don't really have to re-moisturize throughout the week. Well, no, since I have changed my routine, I tend to have to re-moisturize because my hair is definitely drier since I've been going into no lie. I must admit that. Definitely feels more natural and it feels drier, but not dry. So, and you normally seal. So after doing your moisturizing and sealing, and based on how the product works or reacts in your hair, then you will know if you have what type of porosity you have. For me, with how my hair reacts, I am going to say I have normal porosity hair. So I'm definitely going to check back in 30 minutes as promised, and I'll let you guys know exactly what is happening with the flow test. So for the test that I've done so far, basically I'm seeing either I am normal to low porosity hair. We had already predicted that my hair would be on the normal to low porosity scale. Now let me be very clear with you guys, and you know that I put out honest things out here on my channel. I see a lot of shortcomings with these porosity testing, and one of the reasons why I decided that I was gonna do this on wash day is because I wanted to start on a clean slate. And that leads me to my first point in terms of the shortcomings of these porosity tests, and that is because there might be product buildup on your hair, causing your hair to react a particular way to products. Then you could be using particular types of products like protein-based products, causing your hair to be drier than normal, making you think that yes, I have high porosity hair. Your protein and moisture balance can be out of whack, causing you to think that your hair is a different porosity than it actually is. Another shortcoming of these tests is that hair porosity change. And I think based on the products that we use, the weather, the chemicals that we add on our hair, then our porosity might change. So you might be born with a particular porosity and that changes over time. Also, not only that, but you might have some parts of your hair that are a little drier, soaks up a little more product than the rest of the hair. That means that the front part of your hair can be low porosity, the back part of your hair can be high porosity, the middle part can be normal porosity. That can equally happen. So I might have picked a strand from a particular section of my hair and that gives me a particular reading, but really and truly another part is giving me that. So that is another shortcoming of the test, because all our hair strands are not exactly the same. A part of our hair can be a little more damaged or a little more troubled than the next part. The next thing that this is regarding the flow test, and even though this is widely advertised, I think the flow test is not the most accurate, and I'm going to tell you guys which one I think is the most accurate. Now, the flow test is that naturally you know that lighter things float. So I'm expecting a strand of hair naturally to float at least for a couple of minutes before it sinks, because of the weight, in terms of the weight on the water. Now, if person's hair literally sinks to the bottom of the water, we know that they are high porosity, soaking up a lot of moisture. But my thing is, if person's hair is probably coated with products, if they have buildup on their hair, if their hair they're having calcium buildup from like different no-lie relaxers, then that can impact on how these test results come out. So if products, especially if your hair is dirty or your hair protein moisture balance is not at all in a good state, then chances are that you might get an inaccurate reading, because naturally oils that are in the products that we use are basically repellents. We know that oil repels water. So if you have a bottle of water and you tip some oil in there, naturally it will float up to the top. With that, I'm thinking that if the hair is coated in oils or heavily laden in products, then I'm assuming that they likely stay at the top. Also, if it's not oils and it is like heavy creams and butters and those things, then the hair strand can be heavier than if the hair was not coated in a lot of products, causing it to sink. So after doing my research, after analyzing and understanding how the hair works and how water and surface tension and all of that, gravity and all of that works, I'm not 100% that this flow test, and I'm talking about specifically the flow test here, will be the most accurate. So out of all the tests, the one that I probably think I'm most reliant on, or I think will probably yield the most results or the most accurate results, in my opinion, I believe that to be the strand test, where you actually work your way up the strand. Reason why is that because of how the cuticles are not visible to our naked eye, but we can feel whether it is a flat surface or if it is a rigid surface based on the cuticles being separated or all of that. So I feel in my heart that when I do the strand test, running up the shaft of the hair, I would feel the cuticles either lifting or laying flat based on how they are on the hair strand. So I think if I'm to rely on any of these tests, it has to be the strand test, because I don't think whether you have products in and all of that, that does not affect the structure of the hair. But at the same time, depending on what part of the hair you got the strand from, it can literally tell you that you are this type of porosity in that specific area. So for that specific area, let me clarify that for the specific area that you took that strand from, I think I'm more confident in the strand test. So guys, after many minutes, my hair is still sitting at the top of the cup. Let me show you. Let me show you. See that? Look at my lips. So my hair is still sitting at the top of the cup. It's right here, not even budging, and that would indicate that I have low porosity hair. So guys, you know your girl is coming in with the tea, and there's a lot of persons out here talking about the porosity test, and of course I have to show you guys what the possibilities are out there, but of course you know that I have to come up with my critiques. So guys, just out of the fun of it, go ahead and try this porosity test. Tell me what your results are, and then comment down below. Don't leave without commenting, guys, and let me know what your test results say. So guys, this ends the series that I had on hair porosity. I hope that you have learned a lot in this series, guys. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed this series with you, and I'm going to go into other videos that I know that will be a pleasant help. Let me know what other series you would want to see or other videos that are on your list for me to do. If you made it to the end of the video, you are a real one. Thank you guys for supporting, and I'll see you next time. Ta-da!